When you're trying to manifest a specific thing, but you're still holding on to your old identity, it's not the path of least resistance at all. It's the path of most resistance, because you're trying to manifest a thing that's taking you forwards, but then you're pulling yourself back with the identity, and it's constantly like this tug of war thing. So if you feel like you're getting manifestations and they're being pulled away from you, or you feel like you're getting closer but it's happening so slowly and you're thinking, why is it happening so slowly, then it's probably because you haven't identity shifted. You're good at manifesting, but you haven't identity shifted. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on this book just here, because this book is my first ever manifestation book from 2019, and this was when I first discovered manifestation, started meditating. And you know when you first discover it and you really are trying to aim for the stars, there's a lot of things I did right and there's a lot of things I actually did wrong. That the things I did right led me to have the manifestation, but then the things that I did wrong meant that the manifestation kind of fell apart after a while. Everything in here has now manifested to this day, because we are now in 2024, so it's been 5 years. But it has been a rocky 5 years to get to the point that I actually wanted to be in 2019. I'm gonna read you out the things that I manifested, and then I'm also gonna go over some of the things that I did wrong, so you guys can make sure that you don't make the same mistakes as me, okay? Because we want to be manifesting stuff, and then we want to actually be keeping the manifestation we do. In this book, I focus on money, travel and freedom, and then the feeling of fulfillment and happiness. And to be honest with you guys, I think that's what everyone wants, right? Everybody wants that, but I just went straight for the whole millionaire thing, which I realise is kind of wrong now, obviously. We can't just skip to being a millionaire and then expect that to, you know, solve all of our problems. So I realise that now, but that was the beginning of me, okay? Alright, so the first thing I wrote is Lottie's next level self. This is for me wanting it by June 2020. I wanted to own a house, a Jaguar E-Pace, very specific about the Jaguar. Having visited Australia, gone to London twice, gone to Greece, have £10,000 a month in revenue from a business, qualify as a nurse, and go to Dubai and also California. So I was going from a broke nursing student, literally living in an apartment that was moldy. It was a studio apartment, and I was living off £500 a month, and I was literally skipping to like millionaire status, which is hilarious. And again is my first problem here, because the identity of me is still the student nurse me that's broke, and I'm trying to manifest like millions here and go on like 7 holidays in 1 year. Again, most of those things I have done now, but it did not happen by June 2020. And again, it's because I didn't identity shift. The thing that people miss here is they jump from, oh my god, yes, I know I can manifest. The belief system never really had an issue with me. I obviously had to believe that I could get to being a millionaire someday, hence why I wrote it down. I wouldn't have wrote it down if I didn't believe it. But the thing is that like my identity was still the old me that was identifying with being a student and being broke. So there was no identity shifting here. I literally just scripted every day and wrote down what I wanted. And that's going to be great if you have the identity for it. Then yes, scripting and writing it down and telling the universe what you want, it's going to manifest instantly. But if your identity is still the old version of you, then it's going to sabotage it. And I'll go into detail next on what I actually did to sabotage almost all of the things that I did manifest. I did manifest the business, obviously, from going £10,000 a month. 2020, I invested in an Amazon business. It did do £10,000 in sales. I didn't have enough stock, so I could only do £10,000 in sales. But again, the belief system me, if I had the identity, I'd have invested in more stock so that I could create £10,000 a month every month and not just on a one-off occasion. Second of all, in 2020, I did create another business. This was an Etsy business. I quit nursing. I went to go study real estate because I thought real estate was the way to freedom and wealth and fulfillment and whatever. And I was an estate agent for a while. And then I created an Etsy shop that did actually result in £20,000 a month in that Christmas, I think it was. So it was a little bit later than June 2020, but it was still 2020 like I wrote here. And this one did very well. I did then quit my job because of the Etsy business. But again, that business I sabotaged because it only did well over Christmas time. And then I quit my job and then it started to slow down. And I was like, oh. And again, the whole identity shift thing, I still identified with minimum wage estate agent me, and I expected to leave that job and then start running this Etsy shop business and identity shift myself. I expected to step into that 6-figure business person, and I never actually did. And so that slowed down, and I was left obviously still jobless, almost businessless, and with a couple of grand in the bank account in savings. So that was probably the second business then that I sabotaged unintentionally. It's funny because I manifested the money that I wanted, and it just got taken from me instantly. And if I'd have known the things that I knew today, because obviously I've now had my business for over 3 years, and that's what we're going to go into next, just here. So this is another manifestation here, and this is aligned with the me now that has been the me for the last 3 years. So in those first 2 years, it was like off and on, you know, I was manifesting and then I wasn't, and then I was getting it and then I was losing it for those 2 years. So it really took a lot for me to learn what it needed to take. And I hope you guys, it doesn't take you 2 years. And obviously if you watch on my channel, you can learn from me now. So you can learn from my pain that I took for 2 years. And so this one says, I'm so grateful for our Shopify store. This is March 2019. I'm so grateful for our Shopify business success. We have made over £30,000 in the past 3 months, which includes December, the last month of Q4. Now we're consistently making 10K a month, and I've done this all this year so far. I no longer have to work as a nurse, and this pays my monthly wage nearly 5 times over, at 5K a month just for me. At the moment we have a shared bank, and we take out consistent amounts of money each month depending on my earnings and put them into savings, which is technically half each. We're in a slightly different position now because I needed to charge my camera. I just basically go on about my savings and money. This is all I was manifesting at this time. It's all I wanted. It's just money, 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 because I thought that getting money would be the answer to everything, and it would cause happiness and freedom and fulfillment. And guys, if you don't manifest the life that you want in detail, then your life will manifest for you. If you don't manifest a specific business, then your business will become your life. This is what I did here. It was 3 years ago we had our first 30K month. And that was when we first started the business. So that manifested in 2021/2022, so about 2 years into this. But the thing is, guys, is last year, 50K a month meant a lot of work. A lot of work. So yes, everything manifested, right? Everything I wrote about manifested, because we do travel today. I do have the time, but by focusing on the money every month meant that I then had a business that created a lot of money, but it required a lot of time. Here I'm writing about money and like what I'm gonna do with the money and buy a car and buy a house. I didn't write about my lifestyle every single day. I didn't write what my life would look like with the money, because I thought that when I had the money I could do what I want. And 2 years in, I became almost frustrated with the fact that I was going to our office every single day, recording videos and, you know, getting sales. I was doing everything. I was doing the hustle. And then I was like, I don't have time to go on holiday. I don't have time to wake up when I want. I have to be at the office at a certain time. You know, I had employees, and I was like, this is not the life that I wanted with the money that I wanted, essentially. So scripting works. It's great. It's very, very good. But I was specific in just the money, and I wasn't specific in the rest of my life. This is why, guys, when you're scripting, you need to be very specific with the life that you want. And a lot of the times it's great to write about the money and the numbers, but you have to write about what you want to spend it on and what you want your life to look like. I didn't think this video was going to go here. I thought I was just going to read the story and be like, yay, I did it, amazing. But there's something very real that needs to be said here. And You have to write the life that you want. And I mean life in a very specific, detailed manner. You could have a car crash and then have a 30 grand payout from your car crash, but you almost died. That is not a good way to manifest money. You need to tell the universe in the ways that you want to get the money. And obviously I did for a business, but I didn't manifest the life that I wanted with the money and with the business. I should have manifested to say that I wanted to go on holiday and it was a very passive business and then it was an easy business. Whenever you're doing affirmations for money, you always have to say that it's come passively, easily and effortlessly. Because if you just say, I am rich, I am abundant, I'm successful, I'm a millionaire, like clearly I just did throughout this book because I was so new to manifesting and I wanted it so bad, it results in money, but not particularly in the best way. Again, very good that I manifested it after 2 years. I mean, I wanted to manifest it in a year, but I'll tell you why it took me 2 years and I didn't manifest it in this time frame in just a second. But what we need to learn, again, is we need to be specific about the life that we want. If you manifest money, a good, strong way to manifest money is obviously by writing about what you're going to do with that money. The life that you imagine you having with the money, because money itself doesn't get you excited. You could have so much money in your bank account, but you just staring at that money in your bank account is not going to make you feel excited. That's not the life we want. We want a life with money where we can spend the money on what we want, right? So that is the manifestation that we need to be manifesting. And it took longer than I wanted to manifest. In this book, I wrote things like, I want a car and a house. Yes, I know it's a lot, but that's all I ever want. That's all I want. Already I could tell the identity I had at the time. Already you guys can probably tell the identity I had at the time. And I wrote that it was a lot. I wrote down other things that kind of suggested that I imagined the thing that I wanted was above me. And by putting it on a pedestal meant that I didn't truly believe it was mine. It wasn't on my level, it wasn't on my frequency, it wasn't on my energetics. And again, I needed to change my identity into the person that was in alignment with those things. Because the person of me that was manifesting it was down here. I was putting all of these things on a pedestal up here. My identity resonated with all of the lacking in my life at that time, with the low money and the student and the broke student life. That was my identity, and I never stepped out of that identity. And I didn't until I actually moved out of that. I wasn't a uni student anymore, and it was only really when I actually got a job, still minimum wage job, but I then bought a decent car. I moved into a decent house that was rented, and that kind of made me feel better. This helped the identity then step into the whole, right, this is the time now. This is the me that gets it all. And that was when I started to create the businesses that I wanted. But I hadn't stepped into the identity enough, clearly, because I got the businesses and then a couple of them dropped. And then by the third time, which is the business that I still have to this day, that was the business that then finally worked out. So the identity happened slowly. The identity shifting happened slowly. It was 1.5 years before I actually had this successful business that I have today. The identity shifting is the thing that's going to cause us to quantum leap, because you imagine the infinite realities out there. By you sticking to your reality and keeping your identity in your reality, you are literally keeping your physical being in this reality. Whereas if we make another decision and we physically, vibrationally step into a different version of ourselves, a different identity of ourselves, that identity takes us down a completely different path, a completely different reality for us. It's like a parallel reality. There is infinite realities out there, infinite opportunities for us, but we have to step into the identity of the person that makes those choices, that leads us down that path. And when you're trying to manifest a specific thing, but you're still holding on to your old identity, it's not the path of least resistance at all. It's the path of most resistance, because you're trying to manifest a thing that's taking you forwards, but then you're pulling yourself back with the identity, and it's constantly like this tug of war thing. So if you feel like you're getting manifestations and they're being pulled away from you, or you feel like you're getting closer but it's happening so slowly and you're thinking, why is it happening so slowly? Then it's probably because you haven't identity shifted. You're good at manifesting, but you haven't identity shifted, so it instantly gets taken away, or it happens but in like bite-sized pieces and you're like, when is the big thing coming? And already you looking for reasons to say it's not arrived has shown that you're still in the old identity. So don't try and manifest in this reality. Let go of this reality completely. Let go of this identity completely. You need to work on stepping into another identity where you have it all, and then you'll be fully released and relaxed and knowing that it's going to happen, and therefore you won't be pushing things because you know that's the reality. That's the path where you get it all. So you're not going to be trying and you're not going to be looking and there's going to be no resistance. But you have to do the identity shifting in order to then choose the reality that you want, and then it manifests instantly because you already have a good base to go off, right? A lot of us, we're like underground suffocating and we're trying to manifest, you know, reaching for the stars, and you can't because you're underground. So you need to be flat on the floor first so that then you can elevate into the stars and reach the heavens. I was putting things on a pedestal. I was saying, oh, I know it's a lot, but it's all I ever want, and therefore I'm still going to manifest it. That's my mistake, and that's why it took a long time, because I was good at manifesting. Clearly, I was visualizing, I was scripting, and I had very good positive emotions. I've always had a good belief system, but the identity shifting hadn't occurred. So yeah, that's the 2019 manifestation book for you. Hopefully you learned some lessons here. I had no direction for this video whatsoever. I just wanted to literally just talk about this. So if that resonated with you and it helped you, then obviously let me know in the comments. If you want one-to-one help with your manifestations, maybe you're trying to battle with your identity, you can work on your specific scenario in the Passive Princess package, where we work one-on-one, and also we create custom affirmation rampages. And yeah, that's it for today's video. Hopefully it helped you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.